What we're seeing, or what's come out of this project, is that we're finding that a lot of people have got the same problems that we have, that they have in different parts of the world. And so first off, I think when we start a project like this, we look at what other people have done out, what they've looked at, then see what can we adapt from those findings in these different areas around the world, such as integrated pest management or logistics or propagation, and then develop that or work that to what we can use from those projects. And out of that, we can get a fabulous result. If I had to grab one area that I think was the best, I think it's Wageningen in Holland, because it's a horticultural company. It's an agricultural company, but primarily on the horticultural side. And as such, there is so much coming out of there that benefits the whole country. So they're totally focused on the horticultural aspect.
RMCG were engaged by Hort Innovation to conduct a global RD&E review for the Australian nursery industry. So to do that, we talked to industry members and researchers in Australia. Then we also did an extensive desktop review looking through scientific journals and online material, and we also consulted, so we did interviews with researchers and industry members in Australia and then also internationally.
We have an industry that is similar to all the other industries around the world, and to see what everyone else in the world is doing on R&D that we perhaps can utilise, I thought it was fabulous to do this initial research on what was going on.
Some of the key findings from the review were that we identified 5 key areas where there isn't a lot of R&D occurring currently in Australia, and these were largely production focused, and they included looking at ways to improve resource use efficiency, so reducing environmental footprint, understanding your consumer or your customer better, improving supply chain efficiencies, and then the last 2 are really around looking at ways to improve production efficiencies, and one of the ways of doing that is through automation or introducing more agri-tech into the system. It was really important to understand the capability and capacity of researchers and organisations in Australia. What we'd heard from industry is that they wanted to get in at the start of projects, not just adapt final outcomes or products. So for us, it was really important to understand what was the capability of R&D providers in Australia to collaborate internationally with other providers. I think can sometimes be a perception that if it's done elsewhere, it's better. However, one of the really exciting things that we found during the review was that there is amazing capacity and capability within Australia to provide R&D services to the nursery industry. We came across some great examples of where Australia is really leading the way in terms of providing R&D that is relevant to the nursery industry. My key message for the Australian nursery industry would be to get the most out of the research that has already occurred. There's been a huge amount of funds previously invested into research to benefit the nursery industry. I think having a focus on extension where those research outcomes are translated and made really relevant to commercial businesses would be a great focus for the future.